Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Descent Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, Forgotten Souls, where we're moving into episode 1, the Onset. Okie dokie. So, the Onset. As we make our journey into the dungeon, corpses that line the floor begin to writhe with life. Behind you, near the sealed entrance, monsters appear from the shadows. You must stand together. Bah! And that's what they're doing right here. So let's read our first encounter card, just before we get going. So here we are, the Onset. Each time a hero enters a space that is not adjacent to another hero, the hero who entered that space suffers 3 fatigue. If there are no monsters on the map, discard this exploration card. So there's what we've got to do. We've got to kill all the monsters on the map. That's proper dungeon crawling, isn't it? So super. And let's just check out at the bottom here. You are ill prepared for the surprise attack. Zombies feast on your flesh while bar guests snore at the bones underneath. This dungeon may be your grave. Haha, cheery stuff. So we've got 2 turns, otherwise we advance doom by 1 and then we discard this exploration card, which is also bad because then we start taking peril. Not only have we got to kill all these guys here, we've also got to open the door, because by opening the door we'll get a new exploration card and that will stop peril. So kill the monsters and open the door. That's what we've got to do, and we've got 2 turns to do it, so we're a bit up against it. So we've got a bar guest monster group and a zombie monster group, 1 master and 1 minion each. Because of the losing fatigue, if we're not adjacent, everybody's sort of set up like this. It does count as adjacent if you're diagonally across from each other. Okay, so we're ready to go. So let's get cracking with the hero phase. And here we are at the hero phase. First player, surprisingly enough, is going to be Syndrael because I set her all up. Right, so what is she going to do? Well, first of all, she's not actually going to use an action. There's something that you can do to move without using an action, and that is to gain fatigue. So essentially what she's doing is she's exerting herself. So she's going to gain a fatigue. Remember, you can gain up to your stamina, which is 4, and she's going to move 1 space. You move 1 space for each fatigue that you gain. So it's essentially a little, well, it's not a free move because you've got to spend fatigue to get it, but she's able to move without using an action. So she's now adjacent to that Master Bargus. She's going to attack it. So she attacks with her Iron Longsword. That gives her a blue die. This is the main attack die. So you can see it's got numbers on it. Those are for range, but this is a melee attack. It's got hearts on it. Those are the damage that you do. It's got surges on it, and those trigger special abilities. It's also got this horrible cross on it, which means you have totally missed. So we don't want to be rolling that. She's also rolling the red damage die. This is the main melee die. All the better melee weapons will roll this. You'll always get at least 1 damage, which is these heart symbols. There is also a surge on that as well, which will trigger special abilities. There's also a yellow die, which isn't quite as good, and that's generally used for range. Not always, but it's used for range as well. That has a few range numbers on. The actual Barghest itself is going to use a grey defence die, and these shields counteract the hearts. They sort of cancel each other out, but you're not always guaranteed to get any shields. So that's a grey defence die. There's also a brown defence die, which isn't as good. That's got more blank sides, and there is a black defence die, which is extremely good. That's got quite a few shields on it. So anyway, but that's how we're set up for the attack. So it's Syndrael against the Master Barghest. Let's get rolling. No! I have to re-roll this. Oh, managed to get 1. managed to get 1, but we got 4 and we got, oh sorry, we got 4, 1, so we managed to put 3 damage on. So not a bad first attack. So there we go, that's 3 damage. Put that down here. We know we've only got a single Master Barghest. So second attack, because heroes can attack twice, monsters can't. It's going to do exactly the same. Come on, Cindy. Ooh, we might have done it. We might have done it. And we got a surge, which is good. Oh, yes. So we got 5 damage. It can only counteract 1, so 4 damage go through, which is enough to kill it because it's only got 6 health. But we've got a surge as well. What we're going to spend that surge on is you can spend surges on getting rid of fatigue, and that's what we're going to do. So that fatigue we gained for movement, we were able to get rid of with this surge. 4 damage goes through. 4 plus 3 is 7. It's only got 7 health. Bye bye, Mr. Barghest. Woo! So he's off the board, which is a great start. And remember, that means, because he's a red monster, we've now got 2 cards that we can get in loot. And he was a sort of 2 square monster. So we move this 1, 2. So we are off and running. Well done, Cindy. But she hasn't quite finished yet. Because what she's going to do is she's going to take another fatigue and she's just going to move back 1. Oh, in fact, no, she's not. She's going to stay where she is. That was my plan. I was going to move back 1 if we didn't actually kill the Master Barghest, because then I was going to have Avric go in. But we've killed the Master Barghest, so he can just attack this Barghest here. Cool. Right, so good stuff from Syndrael. Next up, Avric. So here we are with Avric. Moved his stuff over here so we can see what he's using. He's using his iron mace and his wooden shield. Now his iron mace doesn't use the red dye, unfortunately. He uses the slightly less powerful yellow dye. This is used quite a lot for ranged weapons. As you can see, it's got range numbers on. Just doesn't quite have the amount of damage that the red dye's got. He's going to attack the minion Barghest, and that gets a grade defense die as well. So first attack. Whoop. That didn't go in. There we go again. Woohoo! But we may as well have missed. Because we didn't get anything at all. So 3 shields are more than enough to mean that we don't get any damage on the Barghest. That is bad rolling. So we're in trouble. Now we did get a surge, but I do not think that we can use it. Now normally the iron mace would give a stun, but I think for it to give a stun you actually have to cause damage. And we haven't caused damage. I'll just check that. No, unfortunately, you have to deal at least 1 damage, so he cannot spend his surge. He has got a surge whereby his hero ability, where you can recover, anyone within 3 spaces can recover some health, but nobody's lost any health, so that's not even working. So that is bad. So he's pretty much missed, but he's got another attack, so he's going to have another go. Whoop, that one's fell out. Ooh, not bad, not bad. So there's 2 hearts, 1 shield, 2 hearts and another stun. That looks like this stun will go through. So essentially we get 3 damage going through, and we can spend that on a stun. So we need to get a stun token. Whoop. So here's a stun token. That will go on this Barghest here. So we know it's stunned, and we also get 3 damage on it. But it can take 4 damage, so it is not quite dead. but it is stunned. It is going to have to use one action next turn when it attacks to get rid of that stun. So at least there is that. We've cut down its actions that it can do during the Overlord phase. Right, that is it for Avric. He's not going to do anything else. No, he's going to stay where he is. He's not going to spend any fatigue or anything. So next up is the Widow Tarha. And here we are with the Widow Tarha. First thing she's going to do is she's just going to spin round. And she's going to attack this baby. Now she does have line of sight. If we take this corner of her space, it can see the top corner, halfway down, and the end. So can see the Barghest, and she's going to attack the Barghest because it's already injured. So what does she get? She's got an arcane bolt, so that is these 2 dice again, so that's fine. Exactly the same as the Iron Mace, and as we know, it gets to roll a grey defence die. So a first attack with arcane bolt. Remember, she does get a re-roll as part of her hero ability. Can still keep that, I think, because I think we've got enough to get the single damage that we need. So let's have a look. 3, those 2 cancel out, but she's got 2 surges, so 2 got through anyway. 2 damage, which is enough to kill it. What do we get from surges? Out and out. Well, we've got +1 range or pierce 2, but we don't need that. Runic knowledge, we could have suffered a fatigue to gain an extra 2 damage, but no, we're fine. We've got at least the 1 damage that we need. So, goodbye, Mr. Barghest. We've got rid of the dogs, thankfully, and obviously we don't need this stun token anymore because it's dead. So we can just get rid of that. We get that off the board. So that's 1 less attack that we've got to put up with during the Overlord phase. Again, it was a 2 space monster, so 1, 2. We only need to kill 1 more monster and we will actually pull some loot. Excellent. So that was a first attack. She's now going to spend a couple of fatigue. Well, she's going to gain a couple of fatigue because we want to move her. She's going to go 1, 2. I want her to be a bit further away from these guys because I'd rather her attacking. Well, I'd rather they didn't attack anybody, but let's have them attack Avric, if anybody, rather than her. At least he's got a few more hit points. So she's moved 2. Remember, she's still got an attack as an action. So having moved 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's just going to have an arcane bolt at one of these guys, but she does need to get enough range. She had enough range. 2 was enough for 1, 2. I should have explained that. She did have enough range. 1, 2 to hit the Barghest, but we're going to need 4 to hit one of these guys. Well, we're going to actually attack the Master. Go on, Tarha. Woohoo! I think we only got... Yes. So there we go. We did get 6 range. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wheezy hit it, but had a shield, which cancels that out. So a measly 1 damage on the Master. So let's put that there. So could have been a bit better. Unfortunately, we got no surges to sort of increase damage or anything. So that was a bit of a pity. So no, nothing we can do without a surge. So that is the end of the Widow Tarha's go. Next up is the Overlord phase. And here we are at the Overlord phase. First thing we've got to do is Overlord effects. And that means running the timer down. So, if you remember, we had sort of 2 turns to complete this. Well, the first turn has ticked through. So we have got 1 timer on there. Now, Fate is next. We've still got an exploration card. It hasn't run out. We've still got time, so that's cool. We don't have to do any of the red writing. We don't have to draw a peril card or anything like that. So Fate is fine. Lastly, we have monster activation. We have only got the zombie monster group left, so they will get to go. So let's give this a quick shuffle. The monster activation cards. And a quick cut. And then we'll see what the zombies are doing. There's the card. Put those back. So we read round to the zombies. They're the only monster group we've got. Ooh. Zombies re-roll each X result until there are no X results remaining. So they're guaranteed a hit. Brilliant. It's all one colour. So we can activate them in any order we like. So we'll start with the master. First action, engage the closest hero. Well, the closest hero is Avric. Now, these guys shamble, so they can only move once, but they have got a movement of 3. So 1, 2, that's easily enough to get up to Avric. Attack the adjacent hero who has the lowest remaining health. Well, actually, the lowest remaining health is actually the widow Tarha, because she's got 10. Now he engaged the closest hero, he could do that, and then it's attack the adjacent hero as the lowest remaining health. So in fact, what has happened here, and I think we're going to get away with it, is he cannot move again because he has shamble. This monster may not perform more than 1 move action during a single turn. This is going to work in our favour. So this happens occasionally. So he cannot move again. And it says attack the adjacent hero as the lowest remaining health. Well, he hasn't got the lowest remaining health. The widow Tarha has. But thinking of it, perhaps, yeah, actually, we will have it that he attacks this one. The wording may be trying to say, if there are a choice of adjacent heroes, you attack the one with the lowest health. So he's the only adjacent hero, so attack him. Yeah, that's probably the way it is meant to be read. So he's going to attack poor old Avric. So what does he attack with? He attacks with a blue and a yellow die. So we've got a blue and a yellow die. And we get a grey die. But don't forget, Avric also has his wooden shield. Okay, so let's roll. Remember, any X's would have got re-rolled anyway. So that's 3 damage, 2 surges. Right. Damn. Right, we're going to exhaust the wooden shield. So that means that we got 2 shields. So that will cancel that out. Where's the second? There. But they have got 2 surges. So how is it going to spend its surges? Well, first one, because it has got at least 1, it does get 1 damage on us. So, oh, that's up there with the master zombie. So it does get at least 1 damage, and because it gets at least 1 damage on us, that means we become diseased. So this is the disease card we're going to get. Diseased. At the start of your turn, test willpower. If you pass, discard this card or token. If you fail, suffer 1 fatigue and keep this card or token. So that's why we got cleansing touch. But as it stands, he's diseased, and we've still got a surge to spend, and it's going to spend the other surge to put another damage on us. So we took 2 damage out of that and became diseased. And that is it for the Master's Go. It's exactly the same, because it's all the same colour, for the minion. So the minion is going to go 1, 2. It's adjacent, remember, even though it's don't diagonal. So it's got there, and it's going to attack Avric as well, exactly the same. Remember, Avric no longer has his wooden shield. He's used it against the master. And of course, he doesn't get any shields at all now. Right. So, it can't use that to put disease on because he's already diseased, but it can use it for the +1. There we go. So that is 3 damage with the surge, and he gets another 2 damage anyway. So he's going to end up with 5 damage. So we'll put a 5 token on him. So that is a bad round for Avric, due to poor rolling with his defense die. So that's it, yes. Oh, one thing I just noticed, I was reading up here, wasn't I, when I was doing the master's attack, but the master would have still spent his surges with disease and then the +1. So there we go. Right, so that is all the movement for the monsters. Their activation is over. So that is essentially the end of turn 1. I'm going to leave it there because it'd be quite a long episode, I think. I think this is well over 20 minutes. So I'll leave it there after our first turn. So we're in a bit of a pickle because we've still got 2 monsters to kill. Remember, we've got to kill these 2 monsters, which will achieve the Onset exploration card, but we've also got to get up to this door. Got to get up to this door and get it open and get a new encounter card, because if we do not have an encounter card, then we start drawing peril and stuff like that. Get rid of this, that's finished, so put that in a little discard pile. The good things are, at least we got rid of the master and the minion barguest, and we've only got to deal with these zombies. The master zombie has 1 health off it, but it is quite strong. It's got 6 health, so we're going to have to crack on with that. Syndrael and Avric are going to have to cause some damage, I think, and then we've got to get somebody up to that door to get it open. Right, so that is it for turn 1. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions. Thanks for all the help, tips, support. It's all very much appreciated, thank you. And anyone who's been across to Board Game Links to upvote the site, thanks to you as well. It is very much appreciated. So, I hope you join me for turn 2 of Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, and the Forgotten Souls module. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.